It was summer of 2007 when I met Steve Cropper for the first time. I just moved from the Detroit area to Nashville. Big change. The restaurant where we had lunch was nothing special, but the person I found myself sitting across from was. Here was the man I'd watched so many times in the Blues Brothers movie, and like most guitar players, even imitated the famous lick at the beginning of Soul Man. And there he sat, bigger than life. He was interested in hiring me to create his social media presence. Crop told me story after story. I kept thinking, I'll never run out of great things to say about him. And I never did. From 2008 to 2018, we met several times at his Insomnia studio in Nashville. Now, as a guitar player myself, just sitting in a studio with him was mind-blowing. One day I looked at all the photos on the wall. One was a special citation of achievement from BMI to Steve for the millions of broadcast performances of Sitting on the Dock of the Bay. On that day, it started to hit me how much of a music legend he really was. Before I started working for the duo Daryl Hall and John Oates, John invited me to one of his solo sessions. Steve was there to play on a few songs, and when Crop asked, "What do you want me to play?" John replied, "Play some Steve Cropper." I knew exactly what he meant. Simple, tasty, always complimenting the vocal line. His stock in trade was humility, both in music and in life. That was classic Steve Cropper. I worked for him until 2018. In March of that year, I had emergency brain surgery, and over a period of weeks and months, 2 separate strokes. After Steve found out, he reached out to me to ask if I needed anything. We continued to stay in touch via email after that, and he always asked what I was doing too. A nice touch from a nice man. When I began playing this podcast, Steve was the first artist to offer to be a guest. He was very busy promoting his comeback album, Fired Up, to be released April 23rd of 2021. Although interviews for that album had to be requested and scheduled through his agent, Steve told me not to bother with all that. We just schedule it between us through email, and I'll have a link to that podcast below. I was shocked and left feeling numb when I heard about his death earlier this week. The world will miss Steve Cropper, the guitarist, songwriter, and record producer. I'll miss my musical hero, but more importantly, my friend.